Hey there, friends in the OSR Academy. Welcome to our little preview here. Introducing my friend, sales extraordinaire. I do believe that is what is on your business card. Is that right?
Oh, pretty close.
Close enough, he says. We're going to be meeting Matt. Matt was the star of episode 173 on the podcast, which is part of what you need to prepare for. And what Matt and I did is we reviewed the script for the all-time classic sales film, Tommy Boy, and then we spent an episode kind of breaking it down and drawing out the insights and the stories that applied to make that a valuable resource. So you're going to do that ahead of time. You're going to watch Tommy Boy. You're going to listen to the podcast, and then we're going to meet Matt. And I specifically want you guys to meet Matt for a couple of reasons. Matt, as we think about relationship selling, you've been extremely successful in your career, not competing on price, staying away from the transactional sale. Is that right?
Right. Honestly, that's what we strive for. We don't look to sell the lowest cost material. We look to sell value-added products, maybe at a higher cost than our competitors, and show value and build relationships with our customers, long-term relationships with our customers.
Absolutely. That's something that we talk about here, is if you are interested in being in the Walmart of building materials, you can do that. That is one way to compete. That's not how I like to compete, right? Because at that point, you don't really need salespeople. You just lower the price and you just let it fly off the shelves, right? But if you want to do something different, really intentionally develop relationships, Matt has a ton of history and numerous stories that we're going to talk about that really illustrate how you can do that very intentionally. The other thing we're going to talk about was getting out of your comfort zone. And for many of the people, students in our OSR Academy, that's a real thing, is that we need to get comfortable about doing things that maybe we haven't done before. Don't give away too much, right?
Right.
What sort of recommendations or things to think about do you offer young people when you mentor them about getting out of their comfort zone?
Just like the price thing, the relationship side of it, that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. Like you said, if you want to Walmart sell, be the lowest cost provider, right, that's the easy way to go. How to figure out how to sell on bigger profit margins, how to continue to grow relationships and show customers value. A lot of times that alone will put people out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right. So we're talking about that. We're also going to talk about rejection, because handling rejection, whether that's a soft no, I'm happy with my current provider, and then they kind of stop returning phone calls or emails, or maybe it's the more blatant, no, I'm not interested in doing business. I understand what you're trying to do. Right. I'm not interested. And yet continuing on and being persistent in a way that to deliver value is something that you and I have talked about quite a bit. Again, without giving too much away, are there really tactical ways or any mindsets that you're going to share later about how to do that? Understand that confidence is so critical.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different things we can get into. You just have to realize a lot of times the initial answer is going to be no. Mm-hmm. They're comfortable with who they're with and who they're currently doing business with. And you just have to be able to come up with some other strategies or solutions to try and get around that no, right? And try and get to a yes. So, yeah, there's a lot of things we can touch on for sure.
Yeah, and one thing we've talked about, Matt, was just this idea that the expectation should be there's a knee-jerk response, an instinct to say, no, I'm good. No, I'm happy with my current provider. I'm busy right now. Just not a priority. Like that is, I don't say it's a human instinct, but it's almost a human instinct among buyers. Right. So that should be entirely expected. But every time we pick up the phone, if we're surprised that someone says, kind of like working with, Matt over here. So, and I know he competes with you, so we're good. And you're like, okay, shoot, call me if you need anything. Like, we're going to talk specifically on how to get around that. Matt, the other thing I want to bring up is this phrase, value proposition. I've felt this on occasion. I've had a few students or people that we've been training call me out on value proposition and either think or say this idea of a value proposition is something that these MBA types or these folks who teach selling in some sort of academic institution, you talk about a value proposition. It's not a real thing because I'm working with real people, salt of the earth, boots on the ground. That's not how people talk. How do you think about a value proposition? And is that something that would apply to everybody, or is it just kind of the highfalutin PhDs?
I think it applies to everybody, really. Especially, it kind of gives you a guideline. If you have a solid value proposition, it gives you a guideline what your business is based on and shows your customer what you can bring them. So granted, when I was younger, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
And as my career has grown, we have a very solid value proposition where I work. And we constantly go back to that. And there are some younger guys that come up and they say, do I even have to put that in my quote unquote presentation or this? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Because it shows what we are about, shows how we go to the market and how we do business. So I think it's very valuable, obviously.
Great. Well, it's something we're going to hit on because I agree. And I think sometimes maybe it's guys on our end or things that I personally can do better to articulate why it's important, how we can think about it in a way that's tangible and helpful. But I believe that this idea of a value proposition, when you understand it like you referred to, it can give you confidence because it gives you boundaries, it gives you constraints, and it also tells you, dude, if what people are asking for, I don't think we're a good fit. And sometimes the best move is to confidently say, I wish you all the best of luck. We're not a fit right now. Can I call back in 6 months later and see if anything's changed? And saving time, not believing that if you guys aren't a fit on the value and the priorities that you have, go on, do something else. There's other people you can serve. So, all right, we're going to hit on all of those and more. I'm excited to have you meet, and we're going to have a good time.
Yep.
So
looking forward to it.
Cool. All right. We're going to see you guys there kind of right around week 12. And so you need to watch Tommy Boy. You're going to download that one pager that includes the movie trailer script. So yes, it's very meta. You're going to do the movie trailer script, right? What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to do next for one Tommy Callahan as he was selling auto parts and brake pads? So you got to do that. Get that work done, and then come prepared with questions. And the reason I'm thrilled to have Matt join us is, number one, he's smart, he's funny, and he's got literally decades. You're really old. He's got decades of experience, and you can literally just fire fastballs at him. And really, this is about how we get comfortable in the prospecting phase and get comfortable breaking through, introducing ourselves, and having fun, growing our business. So thanks much. We will see you then. Matt, thank you.
Yep. Looking forward to meeting everybody.